Let's take you to Parliament now, where NPP MP for Damango and also former Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Jinapor says it is completely premature to be discussing who should partner NPP flag bearer Bawumia as running mate for the 2028 elections. Barely a week after his election, Joy News understands there's been intense jostling for the running mate position, with two names coming up: 2024 running mate Matthew Opoku-Prempeh and Brian Echampo, who made an impressive showing in the party's primaries. But speaking exclusively to Joy News, Samuel Jinapor says such talks should be regulated into the background, as the NDC are yet to even elect their flag bearer.
Isn't it too early? Isn't it premature? I mean, we just had this election. It's less than a month. And I think that our focus should be on reorganizing our party, restructuring our party, putting the party together, and making sure that the horse which Dr. Bawumia is going to ride on into the election of 2028, which is the NPP horse, the NPP vehicle, the NPP machine, is fit for purpose and is being healed and cured and put together in a manner that it can go forward into this race with confidence, courage, and strength. So our focus and energies should be on rebuilding the party. In any event, I think it's a bit surprising for anybody to suggest that our ticket, the NPP ticket, should be completed way before the NDC even elects their presidential candidate. Because this is a game of chess. Politics is a game of chess, you know, and the running mate is supposed to complement the presidential candidate. So even whilst the NDC, when the NDC have not elected their presidential candidate, you then jump the gun and you go and select a vice presidential candidate. When the vice presidential candidate is supposed to complement the presidential candidate, you will be on the defensive and you will be exposed, because it will, depending on who the NDC selects as their presidential candidate, that also will be a major consideration in who becomes the vice presidential candidate of Dr. Bawumia, because that person will be required to complement Dr. Bawumia. So if you ask me respectfully, you know, humility and modesty, I think that the question of running mate should not even come up now at all. I think we should focus on rebuilding the party. We should focus on supporting the candidate to go through and lead us through these very important reforms that we require in our party. And we should focus on supporting the candidate to put the party together and put strategies together to make the NPP winnable in 2028. The question of vice presidential, I believe, will come further down the road, not now.
A resident parliamentary correspondent, Kweku Asante, did that interview and is joining me with some more. Kweku, you asked him about unity. He has some special ideas. What are those?
Well, Ken, we know that the rhetoric during the campaign was intense. In fact, there were a lot of language from across the divide, in particular, Dr. Bawumia at the receiving end of those attacks. And going into 2028, the NPP recognizes how crucial the question of unity will be. Samuel Jinapor says the NPP has always united. As far as he's concerned, certain things are already ongoing behind the scene to bring back all the factions to be prepared and ready for the battle in 2028.
Dance with the best traditions of our party. Those who did not win are required to support the winner. And so far, I see that all those who contested in this election have begun to demonstrate leadership and have begun to demonstrate loyalty to the party, and are taking steps which suggest that they are going to live by the true traditions of the NPP. As you know, in 1992, when Professor Dubois was elected, President Kufuor, Jan Selby, Peter Alajiti, and all those who contested him rallied behind Professor Dubois. Same happened in 1996 when Professor Dubois and the rest rallied behind President Kufuor. In 1998, President Akufo-Addo, then who lost to President Kufuor, rallied behind President J. Kufuor. And so that is the tradition of our party. That is what is required of those who don't win. And as I say, those who did not win, Mr. Kennedy Japan, Dr. Brian Echampo, Dr. Edichum, Kobna Japan, have all taken steps so far which are very encouraging. I think that they should be saluted and commended for the statesmanship they are demonstrating and their loyalty and love for the New Patriotic Party. That is what is to happen. That is what is expected of them, and that's what is expected of their supporters, and indeed the rank and file of our party. A lot of the responsibility also be on the candidate the leader of our party. And I know that Dr. Bawumia is a unifier, and he has the diplomatic skills and he has the wherewithal to be able to bring together the rank and file of our party. Not just the leadership, that is one thing, but more importantly is uniting the grassroots of our party at the base. That is what will give the NPP strength to be able to prosecute the election of 2028.
Kweku Asante with me. Kweku, another issue that has come up is the margin of victory between his 2023 and 2026 elections. What did Jinapor say about that?
We know that in 2023, Dr. Bawumia won with a little over 60%, and now he's gotten 56%. The cause have been that it perhaps suggests that Dr. Bawumia does not have such a grip on the party, and that has meant a very weak control of the party. Someone like Jinapor says no, says the dynamics are different, and he looks at the spread of the victory across regions, in particular Greater Accra, Ashanti region. It clearly tells him that the party base have coalesced around Dr. Bawumia and will offer full support in 2028.
The margin of victory between Kennedy Japan and Dr. Bawumia in the last election is widened, and the gap between Dr. Bawumia and Mr. Brana Champong is huge. And also, if you look at the qualitative results, you will see that Dr. Bawumia had a much more widespread victory this time around than he did in 2023. Greater Accra, for example, he struggled a lot in 2023. In this particular election, he won very comfortably in Greater Accra. And as they say, all politics is in Greater Accra. That is good omen, that is encouraging, that is a good indication, it's a good signal that Dr. Bawumia's popularity and attractiveness is rising in Greater Accra. That for me is very refreshing. In Ashanti region, for example, he won 45 constituencies out of 47. He couldn't do that in 2023. In many places, in Savannah region, he increased his margin from 69% to 74%, won in all the 6 constituencies, all the 7 constituencies in Savannah region. And in each constituency, he almost had an upward adjustment. And so if you look at it in terms of the widespread of the victory, it means that there is much more broad acceptability of his candidature. But victory is victory. I mean, victory of one is victory. And the dictate of our constitution, the NPP constitution, requires him to be able to cross 50% plus 1. He has done that. And that means that he has full authority. He has a full mandate of the party. He's a leader of the party. And he is the man in charge of the New Patriotic Party now. And I believe that all the others will come on board and unite, and we all will be one big, formidable family to prosecute the crucial election of 2028. That's the point.
And that's how we wrap up the polls today. The news team returns at 7 p.m. with Joy News Prime. But for more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com, and you can see our headline story this hour is only 20 of African SMEs engage in export trade. That is according to Vice President Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman. That's it for the polls this hour. My name is Kenneth Jesse. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. See you tomorrow.